otherwise, I am content to live my life as a succession of a bunch of ordinary days, if that's what the Lord would have me to do. I just want to make the best use of today. I just want to live for Jesus one day at a time. And I'm not so hung up on the idea of mountaintop moments. God's men, remember the preciousness of ordinary days. Number 5, be aware of your rhythms of maximum effectiveness. Be aware of your rhythms of maximum effectiveness. A friend suggested recently that I read a book entitled At Your Best. A man named Carey Nieuwhof wrote the book, At Your Best. Mr. Nieuwhof suggests that there are about 4 or 5 hours in every day when you are at your peak, your premium, your very, very best. And you ought to figure out, number one, what those hours are in your day. For most people, it's in the morning, 4 to 5 hours, and you ought to take that time, that energy, and you ought to focus that energy on what's most important in your ministry. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? You got 4 or 5 hours. And then in the other day, other hours of your ministry, you spend time doing things that require less effort, mentally, emotionally, energy-wise. Know your rhythms of maximum effectiveness. There are going to be times when, like Jesus, you're up late at night because people need you and because you love people. There are going to be times when, like Jesus, you need to deliberately wake early in the morning. There are going to be times when, like Jesus, what you need is solitude. Know your rhythms of maximum effectiveness. We make machines, and we want machines to be able to just crank out productivity just in a steady way, right? I never turn my laptop off. My laptop, I just close it up at the end of the day and then open it up first thing in the morning. That machine runs 24/7. You and I can't do that. Somebody said that human beings are made to pulse. Just pulse. God built us with built-in rhythms of rest. We need that in our lives. Know your rhythms of maximum effectiveness as a gospel preacher. And then number 6, trust in God's gracious provision daily. Trust in God's gracious provision daily. When you study, and I hope that you will after this lesson, when you study how Jesus used his time, I want you to notice how often he was interrupted. One thing, if you've been preaching for any amount of time at all, there's no 2 days exactly alike, are there? There's never been for a gospel. You might have routines. You might have things that you kind of habitually do, but there's never any 2 days that are exactly alike. What if some of those interruptions are providentially opportunities for us to grow, for us to help other people grow, for us to become more like Jesus? Think about the manna. I love to think about the manna in Exodus 16. God didn't ask Israel for a menu list of what they would like to eat. He just said, I'm going to rain bread from heaven for you. Remember? And not only that, but God said, I'm going to do this every day. I'm going to do it sufficiently. You're going to have enough to eat every day of the week. And I'm even going to double up before the Sabbath. And when God provided manna, he did it creatively. He gave those Israelites something that it wasn't just bread to sustain their bodies. It had a sweet taste to it. Isn't that amazing about God? And he does it faithfully. It seems to me, as a gospel preacher, that that's the way God provides for all of our days. He doesn't always ask us, what would you like to do with your day, John? And he doesn't always give me what I would expect during a day, but he's faithful and he's sufficient, and his grace is sustaining through every trial, every interruption, every opportunity. My grace is sufficient for you. 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9. As a gospel preacher, don't ever forget the sufficiency of God's grace and the presence of his providence. A day in the life of a preacher. I could talk about how all of us could spend our days, but really the best thing for any of us to do is to think about, how would Jesus spend my day if he were in my shoes? And I want to live in a way that pleases him. Thank you guys very much for your attendance this morning. Thanks, brother.
I want to thank Brother John for that absolutely wonderful lesson. I think regardless of whether you're just starting out in your ministry, you've been doing it for a number of years, I don't think there's anything wrong with
excited for your work here. I really am. You're going to do great. Brother. I don't know if it was just timing, so maybe it's affecting me more than others, but that was one of the most practical and helpful lessons I think I've ever heard. Many appreciate that, brother. Thanks. Really, really helpful to me. Appreciate you, brother. He can still say yes to Sarepta, though. It's all good. Appreciate you, brother. I know. Me too. I wonder where I was. Yeah. Thanks. Appreciate that. Okay, brother. Thanks. Thanks very much. Yeah.
We'll get back to brother Mike. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to take one of these chairs out. I have weights. That would mean you got mine.
Which room is he going to be?
He's in both of these. So
One's over here.
Mike's in both of these now. Yeah, here. This is his.
Other way. Nope. Oh, it's not
could tell it was not this section. Do you want to just put him in the middle, Wayne? Yeah, I was going to put him like. He's not going to use the pole. He's not going to use the microphone. Are you speaking right next?
Nope.
Hey, we can figure the book out
2:30.
after all. That's actually how pretty so y'all.
Yeah. It's for streaming.
Because you actually hear Patrick in the hallway.
None of the speakers are on.
That's actually feedback.
Yeah, well, it's because we can't separate them by room.
Even if we did like
Mike?
and put the speaker like right here.
Testing. We need to move these back, or?
Well, I don't know that it matters if Mike has 3 sections just for now. I mean, yeah, Mike's going to preach to this room. So, I don't know that it's for one lesson when we're going to be all out of here.
And then we can do it for tomorrow. Or this afternoon.
This afternoon. Yeah.
So wait till after lunch.
Yeah. Just leave it like this for now.
How you doing? He's a roamer. Steady.
You all right?
How you doing? I'm good. I'm good.
Test, test. If you have like 10 minutes, we are just testing because it was not working. The one from this one, the webcam
You may. Yes, sir, my friend.
Yeah, exactly. So green is what we want. Because green is the better one. Oh, these are both green, so give him this one that's fully charged. Okay, so did we test it? Yeah, it's gonna be room 11. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Just turn it on. Testing 1 2 test. Testing. 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 This one that Justin gave to Vestal, but I don't know about the baby's lesson. This should be correct. Testing 1, 2. Yeah, that's it. Can you see it? Check your mic. How you doing? Test 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Test. There's a lot of noise in here. A lot of noise. Yeah, I think it's all the noise. Right, I'm gonna walk outside. I'm gonna be cold, but testing 1, 2. Test. Hello, can you hear me? Is it getting a mic on that? Okay. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Right. I know. I could get headphones and check them, but. Is this the one? Yeah. Let me get it. Yeah, get both of them. Well, that's the spare. I don't know if we should get both or not. So this one? So it should be green? Yeah. Microphone, yeah.
Microphone, okay.
Vestal. So
Yes.
there it is. So I mute.